I got the article.
Hey, Shalom Akim. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakapadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect. Hey, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, he blesses us with another lesson. You know what I'm saying? The spirit to do another lesson. Lord willing to be edifying, just going into the Bill and Melinda Gates, how they want to, start chipping you blacks, you so-called African Americans. But really, it's going to go down to all you tribes. So we're going to, hit what's going on in the spirit, because that's what we do, All
right. So this is from Breaking News app. Time, Melinda Gates says black people, which is really from the tribe of Judah, you so-called Negroes. Okay, black is a proverb and a byword, but Melinda Gates says black people must be vaccinated first for COVID-19 after healthcare workers. All right. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation gave more money from 2018 to 2019 to the World Health Organization than any entity except the U.S. government. If you know anything, just recently, world leaders just chipped in they raised $8.8 billion from world leaders and also too from the British Prime Minister. All right, so this thing is staged, okay, narrated to go against you tribes, like the brother said. It's just not the so-called Negroes. Why do they want you vaccinated first in line? All right, it's because they want to cut us off from being a nation. We could grab that too, But matter of fact, you could just bring out the.
I'll get a quick precept. Psalm 64:3. Who wet their tongue like I'll start at verse 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Who are the workers of iniquity? Esau, Edom. Who wet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. And if you go into that word wet, who wet, it means from the Hebrew word shanan, to mean to sharpen, to wet, to sharpen. So when you sharpen an instrument of war to go and engage in warfare against the nation, how you see that the war is on you tribes, the weapon that's being sharpened right now is this new world order. These vaccinations to drug you, to make you perpetual slaves with an RFID microchip. All right, that's the plans of the elite right now, because they already own everything, but it's to take it to the next level. All right.
And also too, the sword represents various ways of doing things like this vaccine.
Yep.
It's a sword. Like the gun is a sword. Nuclear missiles, it's a sword. Esau is the Lord's whooping sticks. They're a sword. All right.
Yeah. Lesson of destruction.
And if I could add, the brother GMS Vegas, he brought out a beautiful point on the comment board of the Apostle Ramlock's page. I mean, his recent video, one of his recent videos, going into this guy Al Sharpton, saying that what's his name? George Floyd was considered a cornerstone for the world to change. All right, and the brother had brought it out of where they're both Masons. So this guy George Floyd was basically a sacrifice, and what basically made put all the world in an uproar. So therefore Esau can wet his sword, all right, and bring in his martial law, that warlike, manner that he's always been planning for.
Because part of the agendas, because many agendas are being fulfilled right now, and one of them is to do away with eujakes, the depopulation agenda. Bill Gates is known for his eugenics, being a eugenicist, that he believes in doing away with millions upon millions of people. All right, what is it that it says in the Georgia Guidestones? That they're trying to decrease our humanity to 500 million.
Exactly.
So if there's just roughly 7 billion, 8 billion people on the planet, that's 6.5 billion people that these devils got in mind to do away with.
But also to keep in mind, though, those 500 million people are not going to be no Israelites. They don't want that to be the population. They want it to be their elites, their families, so they can keep that bloodline going. And that's Esau's craft, and he can't get away from his judgment.
I got a quick precept. This is Job 15
but he can't get away.
And 35. They conceive mischief and bring forth vanity, and their belly prepareth deceit. Now that word mischief in the Hebrew is aimal, which is toil, trouble. Trouble. All right, that is wearing effort, hence worry, whether of body or mind. And that vaccine is going to weary out the body, the mind, All right, they already use that with all the manipulation through the media. All right, they weary out the mind, the body, the food that you eat. It wearies out the body and the mind. All right, because we're eating our bread defiled among the Gentiles. All right, so they conceive mischief and bring forth vanity, because the word vanity here in the Hebrew is iniquity. All right, aren't they the children of iniquity? All right, aren't they the children of the sons of the wicked? All right, because in the beginning you had three classifications of men. All right, you had the sons of the living power, you had the sons of men, who are the other nations, and then you had the sons of the wicked. All right, so it says, and their belly prepareth deceit the masses into thinking that this vaccine that they're bringing forward is going to cure you, which really is going to kill you. All right, that's what COVID is. Certificate of certification identification. Certificate of vaccination identification. Slovakia. All right. So that's what they want to do. They want to have everybody. They want to have everybody vaccinated. All right, which is going to bring forth a chip that they know who got vaccinated, and within that they're going to try to get everybody to get chipped with the RFID microchip.
That's right.
Radio frequency identification. So everything, if you're noticing, is all a device that but we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. All right. So that's what they're trying to bring forth. They want that total control. All right. That's what that whole new world order is.
Floyd was just a sacrifice to like Al Sharpton.
Yeah.
Said he's just pretty much calling him a cornerstone, but we know that George Floyd was another 2/3 coon. All right, he was a sacrifice to bring in what you call a cornerstone. He ain't no cornerstone. When you go into the scriptures, that was blasphemy. When you go into the scriptures, that's talking about Yahweh Shai. And I know George Floyd, so they're trying to put that New World Order as their cornerstone. That's pretty much what he meant by that.
I have a little info.
Yeah, we might have to move the camera too.
Because of the.
Yeah,
I got you.
I might have to just probably like stand underneath like the shade or whatever.
We move it
Stand
over.
right here.
Well, yeah, we'll move it sideways and just face it this way.
This way. That's better. Yeah,
That's actually,
As long as we got everybody, we
Yeah.
can move back.
Yeah, you can still
You want to move? Yeah.
You put it back over here. Because it'll still get us. And it's,
Yeah, I got a quick definition going in on that, on human sacrifice. Human sacrifice, showing that especially with the Masonic ties that this man George Floyd had, and the way that it has engulfed the world on fire, which usually whenever you see things like that, they're usually like psyops. All right, so human sacrifice, the offering of the life of a human being to a deity. The occurrence of human sacrifice can usually be related to the recognition of human blood as the sacred life force. Bloodless forms of killing, however, such as strangulation and drowning, have been used in some cultures. So you don't always need to shed blood or like offer up certain blood for it to be a human sacrifice. One of the ways is also strangulation, and the whole world was able to witness the man being strangled for over 7 minutes, I believe 8 minutes and 40 seconds. All right, so that definitely could have been a sacrifice to what deity? These people worship Baal. They worship Caesar. They worship Beelzebub. Satan has many names, but the spiritual entity Satan ultimately.
this is Psalms 106 and starting at verse 35. But we're mingled among the heathen, talking about you nations, you Israelites out there, okay? You tribes, and learn their works, and they serve their idols, which were a snare unto them. Yea, they sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils, and shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and of their daughters, whom they sacrificed unto the idols of Canaan. And the land was polluted with blood. All right, so no matter what God you sacrifice to, you sacrifice to a devil. That's pretty much what the scripture's saying here.
I got a quick precept to lock here. This is Isaiah 59:7. Their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed innocent blood. Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity. Wasting and destruction are in their path. Wasting what? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Which when this COVID came out, they said that, that that you so-called blacks and Latinos, you know, it wouldn't affect them. All of a sudden, now we're you know, it's easily affecting us. That's because their thoughts is to eliminate you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. You know, they want to continue shedding the innocent blood by the way of killing our people, all right, so that more upbringing of protesters can come in, you know, so that they can do away and have complete control on the masses by bringing forth this chip.
Quick precept. Psalm 64:4, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect, suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? All right? So that's definitely these devils. You know, they hit their think tanks, their underground bunkers, they hit their space station. You know, when the whole world is at home, you know, staying home, following the narrative that's put on the TV, these devils are thinking of new ways to oppress you, destroy you, poison you, all right? That's the way that they encourage themselves in an evil matter, and they do it privately, because the world is in the power of their hands.
Yeah.
Like Job 9:24 says, you know, that the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, so they got the power to do that, all right? Verse 6, they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep.
Oh yeah, fuck of that. And I was watching the elder brother Amwan Gabar. He was doing a lesson about how Esau, see, he was going into how Esau, before all this stuff even supposedly got real hot as far as the COVID-19 and the riots, Esau extended the Patriot Act, man. You know, with the Patriot Act basically allowed Esau to get physical with you jakes, man, bring in martial law. So why is that? You know, because it's all pre-planned. You know, and we look like conspiracy theorists, but really it's conspiracy facts because now it's in your face. You know, as the scriptures say, I think it was that Ezekiel 33, when it shall come to pass, then you shall know that a prophet was among you. You got it up.
Yeah, the Psalms 94:9. He that planted the ear, shall he not hear? He that formed the eye, shall he not see? Just like the brother is reading, it might be in secret. A lot of you jakes don't know what's going on. But the difference is with you 2/3 and those that the Lord chose, Lord willing, we are the hopeful elect, is that we have an understanding. We could comprehend the signs of the times we're living in. Unlike a lot of you Israelite groups out there, you can't do it. The only ones that's really going into prophecy is Great Millstone. Yes, you do have certain Israelites that do go into certain prophecies, but here in Great Millstone, like the elder coined it, the 2020, the year of prophecy. Okay, we with all thy, what's that scripture? With all thy get understanding. Can I just bring out something right quick for the word understanding, just quick, just for edification's sake. Salaki. Under, yeah, it's etymology. The word understand, right? It means to literally to stand in the midst, okay, or amongst, all right, or stand amongst. Now it says too, with the godly, you know, you're around godly men, you're around your teachers and your elders that taught you prophecy. That's why we can understand Esau's secret society. We know what they're trying. We know how they try to sacrifice, like the brother brought out the article, all right, or brought out the information. We know what they're trying, all right? So I just wanted to just touch upon that. But the word understand literally means to stand. Under means to stand. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Ain't really too much to it, but.
I'll continue with 64, Psalm 64:7. But the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And all men shall fear and shall declare the work of the Most High, for they shall wisely consider of his doing. The righteous shall be glad in the Lord and shall trust in him, and the upright in heart shall glory. So even in these times, all right, where all the 2/3 are all shook because they're looking for Egypt for help, all right, they're gonna be destroyed for that because the devil is nobody to trust, especially that he has a track record of destroying y'all. So the elect of the Lord, they're gonna trust in the Most High. We know to be still, get our house in order, you know, push out the prophecies, study, spread the word. Be it that this is a spiritual battle, you know. Right now is the time to put on the full armor of the Lord, being this spiritual word, you know. You got a lot of 2/3 are trying to gather arms and weapons and stuff to battle Esau, and they're going to be done away with utterly, because that's Esau's blessing. All right. I don't know if brothers got precepts on that.
Also, if I may add, the scriptures say that, you know, now after he received that blessing that Isaac gave him, the blessing of the sword, that's when Esau said, now, you know, will I have the chance to kill my brother Jacob?
Yep.
You know, and that's fast forwarding to today. Jacob, his name got changed to Israel, which pertains to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, which your respective tribe is from the tribe of Judah on down to Issachar. So Esau, being that he has that perpetual hatred, is still within him, going all the way back during the time of Cain and Abel. Which I got a quick precept, if I may add. This is Isaiah 59 and verse 8. The way of peace they know not. So they don't know the way of peace. All right, because in the beginning, Esau was a cunning hunter. All right, so he was already built for that, to hunt. And Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. All right, so the only ones that know peace are, you know, the Israelites. All right, but it's war is in the heart of these Edomites, man.
Also, too, Baba Kusai Salah, not to cut you off, let him know what Jerusalem means too.
Yeah, Jerusalem is meaning city of peace. Yerushalayim. All right. So, real quick, it says the way of peace they know not, and there is no judgment. All right, and also right here it says, or right in their goings. They have made them crooked paths. Whosoever goeth therein shall not know peace. So whoever goes in that crooked path, which a lot of these false prophets have, you know, for filthy lucre's sake, you know, to receive the riches, all right, they don't know the way of righteousness, all right. All of what they're doing is all wicked, all right, and there is a judgment for those that are continuing in their wickedness, man.
I got this. Listen, brother had a precept. I got this article I want to go into, you know, keep the articles going as well. It says, creepy proposal, government's plan to track COVID-19 at schools. So like the brother said, here it is, Esau is going to try to make it seem like it's all good. You know, you can send your kids back to school, all right? But nonetheless, this devil, Bill Gates, even said, all right, that they plan on a second pandemic happening in July, August, all right? So going into this article now, it says, parents who are chomping at the bit to get the schools reopened in the fall are in for a big surprise. If they don't want their children to go back to a public school, it will, first of all, look more like a prison than it did before. The government wants beacons on every child so they can track at all times to prevent COVID-19, of course. When it comes to being overly disturbing, the government has proven it knows no bounds. After all of the evidence, the coronavirus is not nearly as deadly as they told us, nor are asymptomatic carriers likely to spread it. They still want to track and monitor and control every tiny aspect of every child's life. When students return to school in New Albany, Ohio in August, they'll be carefully watched as they wander through red brick buildings and across well-kept lawns, and not only by teachers. The school district will, with 5 schools and 4,800 students, plans to test a system that will require each student to wear an electronic beacon to track their location to within a few feet throughout the day. It will record where students sit in each classroom, show who they might go and talk to, and reveal how they gather in groups. The hope is such technology could prevent or minimize an outbreak of COVID-19. You know, but that's BS, because here it is, even in my neighborhood. Even in my neighborhood, you know, you have certain protesters, you know, who the cop, they'll, you know, escort down the street or whatever. But they don't say anything to them about, you know, social distancing. Right. So do Esau really give a damn about social distancing? No, it's a ploy. All right, I care about your so-called care about your health, you know, but inwardly they only care about tracking.
All things that go hand in hand with the RFID microchip. So, you know, that's why they're already easing you into that technology, and they're putting out the narrative that it's for your own safety. You know, and these major tyrants have done it before in history, using your children as leverage. You know, so now that they're saying that it attacks the children, because at first it was that the children were immune.
Yep.
All you got to tell people is that, oh, you know, your kids may be at risk, and they're going to be all for it.
Because they said it attacks the older people first. So they say, okay, these are young kids, little children here. Okay, you know, feel bad for them, and then they could get it, and it spreads. And yeah, bring it out. You got it out. It's a lot.
What's up, bro? This is Psalms 36:4. He deviseth mischief upon his bed. He setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil. And that word abhorreth in the Hebrew is mas. All right, mas, which is to reject, despise, refuse. So Esau doesn't refuse evil. All right, he doesn't despise evil. All right, because evil is in their hearts, and what they want to do is they want to get these little kids, which really, the scriptures say in Job 4:7, whoever perished being innocent, which really, all those kids are the spirits back again. Yep. But all in all, you know, Esau, what he wants to do is get everybody in these classrooms tracked, all right, so that everything could be tracked in a form. Everything that you see around you is a form of tracking. The social distancing. Let's see who can obey our orders. Wearing masks. Oh, look, they're listening to us, even though it ain't gonna protect them. They're wearing the gloves, which really, when they start to reopen everything, you're gonna get more prone to getting sick because you have imbalanced the immune system. If you do any research on that, because there has to be balance in the immune system.
And also, too, you know, when it was rioting over there in Minneapolis, Minnesota, the Minnesota governor said that he wants everybody who was involved in that protest or rioting to be tested for COVID-19. That's so ridiculous, man. That's just stupidity, man.
Showing that whole shit could have been premeditated. For months before that, they were telling you to stay home, right? Everybody stay home because the narrative was that, you know, that's the way that there was no spread. But then they go on and do a sacrifice like this. Clearly, it could have been that they know that they're going to rouse you up, that everybody is going to have to come out and protest this shit because it was so blatantly wicked and in your face and viral that now everybody, you know, fed up from the unemployment, fed up from staying home. Now they go out, so they got other people to blame. They got the public to blame for now when they extend the stay-at-home order. You know, it's things that this devil thinks up and conjures up, and he pretty much leads you to where he wants you. All right, he wanted to extend the stay-at-home order, you know, to set up this new world order that he got going. So he does something like the George Floyd case that he knows is gonna make Jake come out, and now he got Jake to blame. All right. So he doesn't even take the blame himself. Right? Now when there's that spike going up and there's new cases on the rise, it's your own people's fault. And now you guys are forced to stay home, and this is why we got the army out, because you guys couldn't act, you know? So he justifies himself.
This is Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And that's what this damn devil does. All right, everything we got a scripture for everything these devils try. It's just literally, it's the truth, because these devils actually think they're gonna bring in that world, that new world order. But what's the scripture say when he is about to fill his belly? All right, the Lord is gonna disappoint his device. All right, what he's doing is these devils go back to the same devils that was ruling over us in the ancient world. You had Antiochus Epiphanes the Fourth. You had all the other Antiochians. You had the Ptolemaic Empire. You had the Persians. You had the Assyrians, the Babylonians. All of them was pretty much wearing us out. Even though, Cyrus did allow us to, you know what I mean? But it's still, they were wearing us out. Throughout history, our enemies have always worn us out, man. But they have never took us, they never cut us off from being a nation. You know, that's because they don't got the power to do that.
Yeah, I got another article here. It says Trump to issue executive order on police reform. So it says we're looking to finalize an executive order that will encourage police departments nationwide to meet the most current professional standards for the use of force, including tactics for de-escalation. You know, and hey, when I read that, it makes me think of the elder brother Adama out there in Boston. He was showing how even the police was walking around with batons, man. You know, meeting up with the National Guard. All right, so it says, including tactics for de-escalation. The only tactic Esau got is physical. All right. Trump said at a roundtable with law enforcement, faith leaders, and small business owners at Gateway Church in Dallas. Also, hey, that should raise a red flag right there. What the hell you got faith leaders, at this round table for, man? Showing you how, hey, that 503, like the brother Kalab in the camp, he said, hey, these Edomites gonna have these so-called church leaders. They gonna have to start, hey, showing what they getting paid for. All right, so it says also we encourage pilot programs that allow social workers to join certain law enforcement officers so that they work together, he said. We'll take care of our police. We're not defunding police. If anything, we're going the other route. We're going to make sure our police are well trained, perfectly trained, and that they have the best equipment. The president continued to applaud. Trump later clarified the idea of encouraging police departments to meet the most current professional standards of force. That means force, but with compassion. He said.
What a dumb.
But if you're going to have to really, do a job, if somebody's really bad, you're going to have to do it with real strength, real power. That sounds like martial law to me. And I said, and people said, oh, I don't know if we like that expression. I said we have to dominate the streets. What happened in New York, the damage they've done, you can't let that happen, the president said. To prolong applause and cheering, you have to dominate the street. That was got it.
Yeah, and that's always been Esau, by the force of the sword. All right, that's the way that he's been able to rape, rob, and pillage the earth. So right now, in the time of the end, how scriptures say in Revelation 12:12, that he come upon the earth with a great wrath, because now is that he's really not going to spare. This devil's going to show his horns. How? Through his martial law, through his concentration camps, through his draconian laws that they could run up in your house on the suspect, because that's the new narrative, that COVID-19 is spreading in the homes. All right, so everybody's been staying at home, but COVID-19 is spreading in the homes. So this devil, he's with HR 666, I believe 6666. He
They
just
decided
passed
the extra 6, and I
Yeah.
believe there was something before that year, it was 6665, something like that.
the House resolution that basically does away with the Fourth Amendment, that is an illegal search and seizure, that now they could come into your homes and that's it. They're justified. Why? Because of peace and safety, which it says that by peace and safety he shall destroy many.
Con, this is brothers got anything?
Oh, I got something real quick.
You got it.
This is Proverbs 12:16. Actually, 12:15. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise. A fool's wrath is presently known, but a prudent man covers shame. So it's either you going out there and you're going to get, beat upside the head, get shot down, get hurt, or you listen to the prophets and hopefully you and your house can be saved. See? It says, verse 16, a fool's wrath is presently known, but a prudent man covers shame. And how's a fool's wrath presently known? You got the Georgia guidelines. Esau's putting it out there because he's proud. And he knows you can't do a damn thing about it.
Quick precept. This is Ecclesiasticus 38, 39, and 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of them that made them. So ultimately, the Heavenly Father is going to put the spirits on these devils, all right, to come with that great vengeance, because they know that they have but a short time, and ultimately it's, judgment playing out from your past life, all right, and you have to face it in this life, however it may be, whether it be through concentration camp, famine, all right, race riots, okay, however, whatever have you. It's about that time that those spirits of vengeance come out now, especially in these last days that we're in.
Yeah, and they're going to appease the Most High. That's the thing that you fake church leaders and the fake pastors And even through this COVID-19, the houses of worship being shut down, you should see that that's not the house of the Most High. You know how the book of Acts say that the Most High doesn't dwell in temples made by hands. So obviously the Most High is not with them. And what these fake church leaders teach is that the Lord is all love. So they're not preparing you for the day of wrath and the day of Jacob's trouble, the time of Jacob's trouble that's coming upon the earth right now. And what you people don't understand with that narrative that's been taught to you that the Lord's all love is that the Most High will fuck your whole shit up. He will destroy you. He'll come down and he'll slay utterly old and young. He does not discriminate. He'll slay old, young, both maids and little children, how it says in Ezekiel 69. Correct or not?
Yeah, in Jeremiah 2:16, they should die of grievous deaths.
Yeah. So the point is that that all these spirits of vengeance that are coming upon the earth, starting with Esau, is to appease the Most High. So you need to understand that that's the power that you're supposed to take up your cause with, your case with.
We might have to do a part 2 because the damn Romans are coming too.
Yeah, the Romans are coming up.
And that's the spirit too. Before we did the video too, the brother said it's gonna be 70 AD. On steroids. And I'm telling you, them Romans ain't play, them Edomites back then ain't play. So how much more you think now with the times we're pretty much approaching the end of the end days, we're pretty much coming to the end.
Yeah, like right now they're literally kicking us out of the park.
Now we'll do a part 2.
Yeah.
Few minutes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
We'll pause it.
Few minutes, sir.